Great episode of Comedians in Bed. And as always, man, I got another good one here for you today. He's very funny. He's very hilarious, man. And not only that, he's one of the best light skins out there today, man. He got that eyebrow arch and everything that he does. I'm so excited to have the wonderful, the very talented and hilarious Sean Grant here on the show today, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Todd. Thank you for having me, bro. That's love, man. Hey, man, you right there, man. You come on, man. You got the beard. You got the beard that connects. You feel me? Like I can't make mine. I put a little do grow right here, but I still got patches. So I like how you know what I'm saying?
Man,
You hold it down for light skin beards.
it took a while, man. They think I'm Somalian out here, man.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it grows on my neck. So
Oh, they rub up on your neck.
yeah.
Oh man, what kind of girl is it? Is it a big Ethiopian or Somal
Oh
like
no, like
East
I'm
African?
saying, like they think I look they think I'm Somalian because my beard
Oh,
is on
I'm
my neck.
thinking no,
Yeah.
because it's weird because there's a big population. I don't know about Columbus, but we was out like in the East Coast,
Mhm.
and it's mad Ethiopian women. They the baddest. I don't let my wife hear this shit, but they the finest. They fine as hell. We don't got a lot of them out here in LA.
Yeah, man, we have a lot of Somalians and Ethiopians out here,
Ooh,
man. Kind of like
ooh.
Minnesota. Like we got a lot.
Right, that
Yeah,
shocked me too. I said,
yeah,
"What the hell
yeah.
y'all doing?"
Yeah, they taking
Yeah,
it over. They almost on like on every side of the town down here, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but I
Hey,
like
you
how they
got
move. I like how they move together, though.
right,
Yeah,
right. That's how it's
yeah,
supposed to be, man. That way we it's consolidated. You feel me?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, you got Asian in you too. Like I see, like a
Nah,
little,
nah,
you got a
nah.
little. Okay, no, my bad. That's messed up, bro.
That's
You know,
not.
no, that's because they got every type of feature in Africa. Like
Yeah,
that's what people don't
yeah,
realize. They got
yeah.
all kind of eyes and every kind of nose.
I think like
So
when I was little, my eyes were a little bit more slanted, and people call me Asian. But I don't think I have Asian in me. But right now, I'm just high. So
wow, oh, okay, that's even better. That's even better.
that's why I was
Yeah.
laughing. Yeah,
No, that's word, man. I appreciate you having me, bro.
yeah, man. So did you grow up in California?
No. I'm from Miami originally.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah. Been out here about 12 years though.
okay.
Yeah,
What was
man.
life like in growing up in Miami?
Miami is, you know what? A lot of people have misconceptions about it. I never really went to the beach. I grew up in Carroll City, like the north Miami part, like, and mostly like just regular, I don't want to say like that, but regular black people, because then you have like Dominicans stay in a certain area and Cubans mostly over there, and then white people, and so it's not a melting pot the way people would think. You feel me?
Hmm.
It's like kind of separated. I didn't really, interact with too many white people. Never met any Asian people. Growing up or in my schooling until I went to like college. Until I went to Florida State. So yeah, man, it's kind of and I never can't swim. That always shocks people. You can swim?
Heck nah. I mean,
Oh,
it's
good.
weird.
Okay,
It's
okay.
weird. Like I can do the motions and stuff, but I don't go nowhere. So I just tell people, nah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I'm too old to learn. I feel stupid. It'd be like learning karate. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get past 30, it's like that's just dumb, man. You
yeah,
can't swim. You can't swim.
I do want to learn those. I feel like if I have kids, I feel bad if I can't get in there and get them. Like,
Oh, you just on the shore, just shouting, just swim, swim.
hey, somebody get that nigga. Somebody get him, man.
Somebody get him. I told her, you cussing them out. That's what happens when black parents can't like help their kid. They just yell. Like, I told her, stupid ass. That's what I tell you. That's what you get. Like that's just the powerlessness to help. We're just powerless to help you right now. So you gotta like.
Oh, man. That's how it be, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah, my mom, she never was a cusser, man, but she definitely would make
No,
you like feel bad for like little stuff. My mom be like, "Why don't you talk?" I'm like, "Cause I don't want to talk." Like, what are you like? Why are you? Why
she
you on
just
my
wanted
back
you to.
about it? Like,
She wanted you to be more conversational, like just open with
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, she did.
Dang.
She did. I was real. I mean, I'm still kind of quiet, but yeah, I was on
Yeah.
mute as a kid. I wasn't talking to nobody. Yeah,
Word.
yeah.
Dang.
So it's
Wow.
weird now that I do comedy.
Right. But I mean, that's a lot of introspection. You got a lot of observation.
Yeah.
And that's to me is probably a little more like helpful in a comedy, in good comedy writing and performance, just to sit back. But I was the opposite, man. My mama couldn't get me to shut the hell up, man. I had to, and she would cuss. My mama, was your mom real Christian? Like, was she very religious?
We would go to church, but she wasn't living right.
Oh, okay, okay. She just wouldn't cut. It's just everything else she was out there. But okay,
But
that's
then
cool.
she got with like she got with a sugar daddy, and he helped turn her life around.
Wait, in a good way?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like she
okay.
felt like then she grew a relationship with the Lord.
Right. That's cool, man. I don't
Yeah,
want to
man.
touch. I don't want to touch it too much. That's
No,
mom.
no,
Hey,
no, no,
man.
no, no. I got a joke about it and everything. No, it's
Okay,
totally
good,
fine.
good. You
Yeah,
never know with comedians, man. You be like, well, you
yeah,
can joke about it, but I don't know about all that. Because there's sometimes somebody go too far with it. Boy,
yeah,
your mama.
yeah.
Hey, bro, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Okay, because even my
Nah,
joke
man.
don't go that far.
Nah, man. She had weird choices in men, man. She did, but she would either date somebody like super younger than her or super older than her, and I was just be
Oh,
like, why can't we find somebody the same age? Maybe that's the breakthrough right there.
hilarious. Wait, was there anybody ever like in your age range or anything like that?
Nah, 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 not that yet.
Oh, I'm gonna say, golly. Because that wouldn't have been too far off for me. My mom's not that much older than me. My mom's only 16. So if
Okay.
she dated somebody way younger than her,
Uh-huh.
yeah, he'd be my age. But yeah. Luckily my step pops made an honest woman out of her pretty early in the game.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
she'd be
yeah,
out there. She'd be out there too, man.
yeah.
Ain't no shame.
How was it growing up with a stepdad? I have a stepmom, so I don't have a stepdad. But how was it like growing up with a stepdad?
Honestly, it's pretty much, well, I can't compare it to nothing really, but I didn't know my real part. It's probably the best situation for him and me because there's no confusion. Like my real pops was locked up most of my whole life, really. So, and I never had no contact with him. In fact, they could have lied to me. Like by the time I could have a memory, like he's
Mhm.
always been there. Like I'm already, he was in my life at 1 year old. So by the time, they told me I must have been like 6 or 7, right before they got married. I was about 7 years old when they got married. And yeah, they could have lied because we kind of look similar a little bit. But that would have been one of those crazy ass, like, like what do you call it, daytime TV type reveals and shit.
Mhm.
So yeah, they kept it real with me, and it was cool. Like I'm grateful for that experience. My stepdad actually, I'm sorry, my real dad, whatever, came out of jail, I think earlier this year or something like that. But he tried to hit me up on TikTok and or Facebook. It's not that I don't want to be friends with him. It's not personal. It's just I don't need friends that been in jail. Like that's a you gotta wait a while. Otherwise, they're pretty reliant. It sounds selfish. It's not like I'm mad at them or nothing like that. But I don't know if you know people that just got out of jail. They need a lot of stuff. They need money. They need help. I hope he gets it. I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just not in a position. As comedians, I don't care how good you're doing. I'll tell you, like Kevin Hart or somebody like that, you can't just help people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially living in LA, I can't. You got other things to focus on, man. Don't worry about this relationship or none of that. He be liking videos and sharing. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you
he
just
sent me some funny videos. I'm like, you funny, man.
you
Thank you.
just giving him space to get on his feet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Get on your feet, man, and
yeah,
maybe we'll be friends in a couple years. But I don't
yeah.
need no friends that need that level of help. You know, people been that's a lot of help, bro. Like honestly, like man, I don't know. You got family been in jail or
Yeah,
ever
like
a
my my
friend?
my brother, I met him in 2017. And like as
Okay.
soon as we met, he went to jail and he was straight asking me for stuff. And I was like, dog, like
Oh man.
I'm 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 living with dad. Like
Come on my books, dog. Come on, man.
I would feel bad because I'll be like, yeah, I got you. But then I get downstairs and I'm like, do I really want to get out this 20? Write that down. That's definitely a joke.
Dude, $20 is a lot. That's a lot of honey buns.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
jail, that's a big deal. That's like a pack of cigarettes or something. That's like big time currency in jail.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Talk about $20. Dang,
Yeah, but
man. You
now, but
never
now,
been.
but
Yeah.
now, like he took some time to get on, his feet. He's doing amazing.
Uh,
He's totally different, and we have like a great relationship. And like out of all the people, like he one of the ones that is like all my shows, like for the most part, like so,
wow.
like that's my guy right there.
That's love. That's
Yeah,
love, man. No, that's good. I'm glad that are you still, I want to, you're in your 20s, right? Something like that.
I'm 32.
32. Okay, so
Yeah,
but see, that's the thing. I mean, it's cool. Y'all met, you guys are brothers. That's different, right? But
yeah,
I just don't need, because the most my pops could be is a friend. And
yeah,
I'm at the age, I'm old, I'm mid 30s, bro. I don't need new friends, man.
yeah,
I'm good. Like, I don't know. I mean, comedians is one thing. I love meeting new comedians. I love meeting comedians that have been doing it a long time who I don't know. That's even. But we're like, there's a respect for the
yeah,
craft and that type of stuff. But as far as friends, and
yeah,
like, I don't need no more, man. So no
yeah.
offense to pops, but you know, that's always weird if somebody over 35 just met all their friends and shit. I'm like, what? You can't keep friends? I've had the same friends since I was like a little boy, like saying 2 years old or something. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good on the friends.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't want to judge nobody that's watching. If you just met all your best friends last year or this year,
Yeah.
okay, but what are you doing? Are you stealing from people? What are you doing that your friends keep not wanting to fuck with you? Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I think once I got in my 30s, I stopped being pressed.
Stealing?
Yeah,
Being pressed. I thought you said
yeah.
stealing. Like, what happened in your 30s when you stopped stealing?
Yeah, but I stopped being pressed, like to have friends in like my 30s and just was fine. I had.
No, man, it's good. It's like I said, I love comics and like there's a certain brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Especially now I'm getting better at hanging out. I mean, I don't know how the Columbus scene is. I remember I went there a long time ago. And of course, oh no, I'm sorry. I went with Batch actually not too long ago, but like to actually hang out with like local homies and got up at some spots. It was years ago, but they had a vibrant scene. I mean, y'all have like an open mic scene, all that, right? Like pretty
Yeah.
vibrant.
We have like mics every night.
Right. So, is it the same comics or is it is everybody moving around? Is like Cleveland not too far? Is it
Some people, for the most part, they gonna go somewhere. They go to Cincinnati. We don't have too
Cincinnati?
many that go to. I mean, some go to Cleveland, but for the most part, they go to Cincinnati because it's closer. Cleveland's like
Close.
2 hours. Cincy is like an hour 20 if you're not doing the speed limit. So
Word.
yeah. So
So, okay, okay.
touch that or we touch Dayton. Um, Pretty like
Man,
mics every night. They're pretty cool. It's a lot of new comics coming in. I'm trying to get to know everybody because I just thought they was just there to watch. Like, like
right.
so I don't be knowing who's who. Like usually I dip afterwards because I gotta go to work early in the morning. But
Right.
lately I've been trying to like stay out more and like get to know people a little bit more and stuff like that.
It's a part of the job, bro.
Yeah,
It's like I used to bring my wife, or she wasn't my wife at the time, to shows, but yeah, it's like that keeps me from having access. If I
yeah,
see you with your lady, I'm not gonna interrupt y'all. But then I don't, just because somebody's funny doesn't mean I want to do a writer's room with them. I might want to talk to you and
yeah,
maybe I have access to a writer's room. But because I couldn't get that like one-on-one time with you, I don't know if I want to be locked up for 12, 16 hours with you in
yeah,
a room. You could be
yeah,
crazy, an asshole, so the more you do that stuff, you build rapport with comics. I feel like it's not cool to think about it that way. It's not necessarily a business tactic or manipulation. It's just you be yourself, and
yeah,
then you guys can vibe on some real shit. But then opportunities will come from that because I
yeah.
have most of the work I've sustained over like the 18 years I've been doing comedy, bro, is from comics.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my relation, because they know if I go to a club, I'm not gonna act crazy,
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
shit, or try to fight nobody. But some comics you don't know. There's some comics are
yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it got to be organic, and just
right.
and fill it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like at least here, some people be a little too pressed, but I just think they're just their age, you know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it gotta be organic, you know, because like I said, if I'm gonna be going on the road with you, I gotta know if I like you first.
Right. We in a car. Do you fart a lot? Is it, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You racist? Like,
yeah,
let's figure that shit out before we, 2 hours into a 5 hour drive. Then we gotta
yeah,
drive back. And I'm like,
right.
oh shit, I hate this motherfucker.
I'm actually going on my first road trip with a comment. Usually I go solo, and we going for
Word.
5 hours. We're going to Chicago, so
Oh, word.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm excited about that.
Hell yeah. Is it
Yeah,
who's driving? Is you driving your whip or?
yeah. I'm driving my whip.
Oh, okay. See, you in control then. So they gotta kiss your ass. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's coming with you, they can't act up because I don't know how people do that. I'm a control freak. I feel weird if I ain't got my damn car, man. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
man. I was like, my car is better on gas, so you know, which
Oh,
it
you got a
is, but
Prius?
nah,
You
I
got a
got a
Prius?
Chevy.
Oh shit. Okay. A Chevy.
Yeah,
Damn, what the other person drive? That's
a
bad.
Dodge. It never
Oh, okay,
Dodge
okay.
Challenger.
Oh shit. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
So you
say
said you've been in the game for 18 years?
18 years, but since I was 18 years old, so I'm
Okay.
about 36.
How did you what made you get into comedy?
Man, honestly, I wanted to become a better writer. I did like I wrote little stuff in school and like for the morning announcements, would do sketches and stuff like that. And so people thought I was funny, which is rare. I knew it meant something at Carroll City because we're very hateful. I thought it was a black people thing. It's not a black people thing. It's a Miami black people thing to be
Mhm.
like very like they would boo our own cheerleaders and make fun of the fat ones and didn't really support the football. We didn't have school spirit. So I thought that was like black people. I thought that black people just had, but that is not true. When I went to Tallahassee and I would see FAMU games. I'm like, black people have school spirit. Like, are proud to go to a play. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's very Miami. So for people to say like, "Oh, you funny," that's really like encouraging from where I'm from because there's such haters. People boo everything, and just because you from here doesn't mean you get respect. In fact, you get less respect, than somebody that's from a different place. I remember
Yeah.
my first experience. I went to Oakland for the Bay Area Black Comedy Festival, and
Mhm.
every time they said a brother was from Oakland, ah, like they was a celebrity.
Mhm.
Every time, I'm like, dang, like what I'm saying? Miami, they don't give a fuck. They like, man, what? I don't know that nigga. Shit, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't make
Yeah.
it, why you should make it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the attitude type. No, I mean, I love where I'm from because of how it builds you up. But nobody who's from there can deny that it's like that. Like there's a
Mhm.
certain level of distrust and kind of just hate, hateration type shit. But
Yeah.
you transcend it. Thank God, man. I transcended it and realized that I could keep some of the good stuff I felt like I learned from my upbringing, hard work, and sticking to yourself. Like there's a lot of Scarface principles. Who do I trust? Me, like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like so, there's that. But then also being welcoming to people and trying to be a positive influence when possible, and not blame other people for my situation. You feel me?
What was those early days like when you first got started and learning and processing all of that? And how did that prepare you for the move to California?
Well, shit. Early on, man, I mean, I quit. It took a long time. I sucked. I mean, everybody sucks, right?
Mhm.
But I sucked really bad. Like my first 6 months, I had didn't know anything. Like nobody in my family is an entertainer. I'm picking up mentors as I go. But I remember the first breakthrough I had was there was a spot in South Florida called the damn. It was in Fort Lauderdale. Not the danger room, some shit, the mental ward. It was called the mental ward. And it was a biker bar. And in the back, they had a stage with a gong, and comics would fuck with each other. They would heckle each other. It was like a danger room. You know how the X-Men had like the danger room?
Mhm.
Like, but there was people there. There would be people watching as well. So you could actually feel that rhythm of doing a crowd, but with high stakes. Like you might get gonged, booed, or heckled, right? So
Mhm.
I remember, going there and having decent sets, but I was trying to write like Rodney Dangerfield and Basically, like I was trying to do like set up punchline, and I thought that's what the joke was. And then I told a story about going to the strip club to a homie. I'm sorry, to this older cat with my homie, and the dude was like, "That's funny. Do that. Say that on stage." I'm like, "That's not a joke. That's just what happened." And then I looked at Todd Shoes, my homie, and Shoes was like, "Nah, man, the way you said it was funnier, and I was there. So say just do that." And then I started relying a little more, finding my natural voice in that way. And then like would pick up little shit. Like my storytelling method is kind of I tell you the end and the beginning because I hate stories where I don't know what's gonna end. So if you know I'm gonna get robbed by a Mexican dude, like I did a joke on Laugh Tracks on True TV, where the punchline is I'm gonna get robbed by this Mexican cat. But what you don't know is how friendly he is throughout the transaction. So in the beginning, you know the end, and then I walk you through the how, and I can do my act outs and settle into it because you already have subconsciously accepted that we know you know what I mean? He's gonna get robbed, and I'm not gonna sit here forever not knowing when this fucking story's going to end. So little stuff like that I picked up, particular to me. I'm not the only one to tell stories like that, but yeah, I think that's the process for most comedians. I mean, I don't know. It should be quicker now, I suppose. I feel bad. I mean, because there's so much pressure to put your stuff out there. Thank God. Thank God. This is like '05 or '04, whatever. Like there was no thing like that where you just like, oh shit, I'm a couple months in. Let me start putting my shit out. I'm like, nah, bro. If I would have put my first few months out there, whoo, it would have been, they would have ran me out of town, man. I was saying, I was put on a Swami hat. I would do a bit in Tallahassee. I would go to, and I would try to read people's minds, but like doing crowd work, like, he thinking about his homeboy's mama's titties, shit like that. And but I'm acting like I'm reading people. It was basically a Johnny Carson bit where but I'm reading the crowd mind. Thank God nobody got that on tape. That was so fucking stupid and corny. But it helped me develop my ability to interact with people and not be afraid of that energy. I see comics years in that still, if somebody say something, they always take it as negative or they try to attack them. And I'm like, not necessarily. You can bring that into the show or just allow it. You feel me? Like, or sometimes it's almost like church. Somebody shout hallelujah. He not gonna go, hey, bitch, don't. What the fuck? I'm in the middle of the word. You shout hallelujah. You distracted me, bitch. And they be like, whoa. Fuck up the whole word. Getting distracted. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to bringing it into the act and letting it. So I thank God for my development, man. It's taken a long time. But, hey, man, I'm glad. I'm happy. You feel me?
One of the things you talked about, I want to touch on was how you write your stories. Is there more than one method, or is that the one you just found to be successful for you?
Yeah, it's the one I like. But like John Mulaney doesn't necessarily do that. John Mulaney, he's a great storyteller. I think a lot of people love his stories, and he's got a very unique rhythm. Like it's very he's not gonna do act outs. My story, if I can add a voice to it. It would be weird if John did that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be weird if who's another great storyteller? A lot of the white ones. There's a lot of great white stories. I'm not making a black-white thing, but when I listen to storytellers, I love the way Kevin Hart tells his stories. My style is different. I don't think Kevin tells the end and the beginning. I think Kevin has he's got to have a tagline that anchors a lot of his stories, right? So he's telling his dad's story. He's got the all right. He's coming in, but his dad's gonna have a voice. His dad, like it's almost like a little play. Bill Cosby, says I don't want to offend nobody, but I think he's a great storyteller. But in his day, there was allowed a lot more hyperbole in the story, like when he's talking about Fat Albert and how big he is, and all these they're almost caricatures. And I feel like stories have evolved to where the audience needs to believe that this is real. And that's always tricky because if you're too jokey at the top, I feel like nowadays they can't buy in. They like, I don't know what part. I got to believe you. I got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to know that the details you running me through aren't superfluous. But you can punchline it and tag it to where they kind of, okay, You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a joke. But in the reality, I'm following that this really happened. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but there's some comics that can't do that. I got a homie. When I tell you, he has the funniest story that will never be told on stage. He had a man, another comic. I won't say none of their names because it's not my business. I'll tell you off air if you want to hit him up, and he can tell you you know, because it wouldn't be fair for me to do that. But another pretty famous comic, and my buddy's kind of well known. He's not famous, but he's he's working. Basically tricked him into doing a foot video, right? Like basically like tricked him into filming his feet, and he put it on the internet. Hilarious. But when he told me the story, I'm like, yo, that's fucking fun because he was so frantic and he was like, Sean, this guy fucking tricks me. Sean, I'm fucking 40 years old when he did this. I got 2 daughters. How the hell am I gonna tell my daughter? You know, so this is the energy that he's telling me the story with. But when he's trying to tell the story on stage, it kind of mimics his joke writing, which is very set up, punchline set up. So they're not in it. You know what I'm saying? A story needs that level of franticness. You see what I'm saying? Like where it's not so well put together. In my opinion, I can be completely, there's probably another way to do it. But there's some guys that I feel like are better joke writers, like, in structure wise. And there's some guys that are just better storytellers. I feel like there's guys that can do both. I feel like Eddie Murphy, to me, is complete package. He can tell you a story about the cookout and apply characters to everybody, but then have a little more short form stuff, like quick hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe those weren't his strongest things, you know what I mean? His strongest bits. But and he's obviously not as introspective as like a Chappelle where he's talking about the world at large. But that to me is not as valuable. There's one, because I don't do it. But two, I feel like it ages because even when they compare Chappelle to people, I'm like, to me, he's more in a category with the Dick Gregory's and the commented Mark Twain's, the people that are talking about the time they live in. But when it ages, you're like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, Dick Gregory's funny, but you don't know who Nikola Khrushchev is and who the first black mayor of Chicago was that he's talking. All this shit you don't know. You feel me? And maybe, I don't know, maybe Chappelle stuff won't age that way, but I think years from now, people be like, why is this dude, what's he talking about? Transgenders, is that a big, we're all transgender. Everybody got titty and dick. Like, why is this man, why is he so hung up on titties and dick? Like, we all got it. I got titties, I got dick, I got pussy. Who knows?
One of the things that they all have their artwork out there, and I was looking it up. You have your own art out there as well with your comedy album First of his name is streaming on Spotify. How did you come up with like that whole process and everything, and how did you know it was time? Because like I want to do an album, but then like some people tell me like I'm too young to do one, so I'm trying to like,
man, don't listen to them, man. If you feel it in your heart, if God is moving you, do it, and then you'll be on to the next material. I didn't, like, somebody approached me for it, right? Like Comedy Records, which is bad. I should have, and I pray this still. Like I wish that I had more initiative to do things on my own. When I see what my buddy King Batch has done and people who I've known for many, I tour with King Batch. He's my boss. Like, he's texting me right now, telling me to do something. But he was my little homie in comedy. He's 2 years younger than me. But I remember, just the fact that he controls his brand and him getting into the internet game and like pumping that. So he's in control. And it takes bravery, man, to put yourself out there and not ask permission. There's no reason to ask permission. I'm just catered to, or I was given bad game when I started because I'm learning from guys who their era was you wait and ask permission. You feel me? And so some of that is still dormant in me, and I try to fight it out of me. But yeah, when I made my album, the guys at Comedy Records in Canada approached me because of another comic they work with, Forrest Shaw, and they were just putting out these albums. But and I'm cool. I like how it came out. I like what they did with it. Now, if I was in more control, the live show would I only had one chance to tape it, right? Like there was no, and I wasn't in control of the lineup because I remember that night they had like 4 comics go up before me. It was open bar, crowds drunk. So even on the album, I got heckled a little bit. Nothing mad. Like I feel like it's still kind of fun. And there's stuff I would have maybe cut out because it had to do with the Dolphins. And this is fucking, whatever. I'm in Miami, so I'm just doing certain things that might be colloquial or local. But yeah, there's stuff that I might have cut out if I had Final Cut. So I didn't have control of Final Cut. But they were very fair with the money, with the master. And they send me like little digital cards for my shows for free in case I want to sell it for whatever. So they were wonderful. I thank Comedy Records for believing in me. I appreciate that. But yeah, man. Hey, bro, if you there's no like you can do it yourself. You feel me? Like you can get all that together, have a theater show as big as you want it. If you're used to performing in a theater, do that. This would be my only advice. And like I said, I'm an idiot, so don't take my fucking advice. But like I would say, do it in some place that you're comfortable. You do it. You've done it so many times there, or in a place like that it's not weird. You feel me? Like because I see people film in theaters, but they normally perform in clubs, and I'm like, well, your rhythm is different. You feel me? Like that. There's a whole different like. You gotta let them settle with the laugh. They're all staring at you. They laugh at once, and then they might clap, and then it's over. And you have to learn how to ride that rhythm, as opposed to a comedy club where you're trying to like create fires all over the like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not odd if somebody's taking an order here because it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's like you're trying to keep it bop, 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 bop. And some people get shit over here, and then it comes back or whatever. You know what I mean? Like but you're not. I don't know. There's a different level of focus for the two. Or you might want to do it at a bar. Maybe that's your shit. You know, some people like tiny little art rooms or jazzy room. So make sure it's your vibe. Be in control of the whole thing. And who gives a fuck whatever happens after that? If you really like the shit, that's the shit I'm on. That's why I made comedian Bible study. I like talking about the Bible. You know, I like talking to comedians. I said, fuck it. I can't fail. Like worst case scenario, you know what I'm saying? Like even if me, it's just that's literally how I start the show now. Is like I trick my favorite people into talking about my favorite thing. Yeah, and that's literally what I do, man. We just talk, and because I'm tired I can't do a sports part. I like sports, but I can't talk about it better than some motherfuckers. They just and I can't talk about it for a long time. I'm like, all right, bro. After like 10 minutes, I'm done with LeBron James and these niggas. I mean, they're great, you know. I just can't. I can't do it. You feel me? Like.
No, I understand. I thought it was a great concept when I saw it, and definitely wanted to talk to you about it. How did you come up with the concept, and how does like your relationship with God like play into your comedy? Like, cause like for me, I used to cuss a lot early on. I don't really cuss anymore. It's not because I'm not. Well, I'm a cusser, like but like I don't know, on stage I really don't really do it so much unless it come like naturally or whatever. And then it's like sometimes I be feeling bad, like, but I like when I cuss in the car I don't feel bad, like because I know that's like me being me. Like I got to a place like I give myself grace, you know what I'm saying? So but
that's
like
it right there. Yeah.
But like I feel like sometimes like when you're on stage, like everybody be like, oh, that's who you really are, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, that part of me, I'm like, kind of like wrestle with a little bit.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said in the sense that, I mean, that is who I am. I'm on stage, like, I get to be me. And honestly, well, and please don't take, I'm not a pastor, no shit like that, right? But so, like, this could be misconstrued as heresy. But I believe cursing or cussing is very much a colloquial cultural thing, right? The idea of saying like there's bad words or good words, right? It's the intention of the word, right? Because really the Bible's written originally in Hebrew and Aramaic and then translated to Greek. And there's all kind of words in the Bible itself that could be offensive. Obviously you could read there's semen, there's all kind of shit. There's where God says that Israel is like the balls of some comedian pointed that out to me. Because obviously when you do a comedian Bible study, you Christian, the atheists are going to try to bring up shit that's weird in the Bible. A lot of stuff that's weird. But like you said, if I believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ and I believe that Jesus Christ is redeemed, I'm set free from the law. right? So they're all the laws, they're necessary, they're in Leviticus. The point of them is nobody sticks to them. Like if you can see the thing about cussing and being gay and all that shit is it's visual. You can see my sin or hear it, right? Or what you consider sin, like with my verbal shit, right? But the thing about your sin is you can hide it, but then that puts you in not you particular, but that puts that person in condemnation and self righteousness, which is
Mm-hmm.
also a sin. You're
Mm-hmm.
self righteous and you're not relying on the grace that's from Jesus Christ. You can't do nothing to earn it. It's a gift that was given to you that you can freely accept. So me with my nasty cussing motherfucking ass, I can get on stage and proudly proclaim the righteousness of Jesus Christ because I believe. And as
Mm-hmm.
he wants to work in me and improve that part of me, but what I do when I become self-righteous and I say I can't cuss no more because now nobody wants to have access to because I'm you know what I'm saying I've removed myself from a certain type
Mm-hmm.
of nigga that I really like to fuck with. Like these are my people. Like
Yeah.
I know that Jesus was like, y'all corny over here, man. Everybody he cussed out in the Bible was a religious motherfucker. You are
Yeah.
religious. You are self-righteous. You are going to hell because you think that you can live out the law on your own. You cannot. It's impossible. You can't even get angry according to the law. This is what Jesus said. If you even get angry with your brother, you sin. And
Mm-hmm.
sin is death. Sin is the wages of sin is death. You're going to go to hell, right? Unless you come to the Father by me, right? And he can love assholes. Jesus can love you. You're not what you did when you come to Jesus. That's the idea of sanctification, of grace, of the gospel of grace. And this is what they kept trying to trick Jesus into. Like even with the lady that where she said she cheated on her husband and he said, let he who's without sin cast the first stone. They were trying to trick him in legality because they say there's a doctrine of Moses that says this bitch need to be stoned, but then he preaches grace. So now we're going to get him. No matter what he does, he's going to be a heretic, right? Or blasphemous. Because if he says don't stone her, then he's denying the law of Moses. So they asked him and he said, all right, yeah, you can stone her. Wages of sin is death. But let he who is without sin, let them cast that first motherfucking stone. What's up? And they could, nobody could do it. And what I love is that the oldest, and it's in the Bible, the oldest of them left first. The Bible makes it a point to make sure that you know the old niggas said fuck that because they can't even bullshit. Young niggas will act like they self-righteous and they ain't never done nothing wrong. Old nigga, once you get to a certain age, you're like, man, let me get my ass up out of here for this motherfucker start telling my business because Jesus was telling people business. He was out here like saying, oh, the lady at the well, I know your business. Right? And then he put it out there. So yeah, man, people who sit in their self-righteousness and make it like it's a separate life. I didn't really want to do the podcast because I know the misconception. Like as much as I love God and I consider myself a good dude and comedians will come on there and trust me because it can be a touchy subject. It can be weird. You don't know what's about to happen. Am I about to try to convert you? Am I about to admonish your beliefs? Or what the fuck am I about to do? But the reason I built that trust over years is because they consider me a decent person, one. And two, I'm not here to like, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian comic. There's a whole circuit for that. But I can't perform in churches, bro, because to me, the vibe isn't real. I can't perform for people that have to think before they laugh because then the genuineness of the laugh goes away because there's like, is that, can I, I mean, he said strip club. I don't know. He didn't cuss, but there's too much fucking thinking, bro. Mm-hmm. Fucking either you laugh or you don't laugh. So that's what I love about the club. It's dark. Cut the lights off. I don't know these motherfuckers. He could be a racist child molester. He could be a fucking Republican. Democrat. Who gives a fuck? We all decided to come in here, look at this motherfucker, and then the laughs of James. Okay, boom. Yeah. And now you can really reach somebody that didn't come in with an idea or some presupposition about the world, and even just being a light, like me, not necessarily being Mr. Whatever, like you know, you just be cool and you say I love this gospel and this is what it's done for me. Fuck all this fire and brimstone. Because that never affected me as a kid. I'm like, I'm from Miami. It's hot anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine no type of heat that I can't get used to. If I'm gonna live for eternity, I have eternity to get used to the heat. You feel me? Like you're not gonna scare me into loving God, but what they didn't really focus on was the benefits that you get from a relationship with Christ. So as much as yes, I curse less, right? And I curse less than I used to, or I try to find other words. God wants to improve every part of your life. He wants you to have a six pack. I got a six pack first time in my life. I was a little flabby now. I ate some steak yesterday, but you know what I'm saying? I'm the most healthy I've ever been in my life. Jesus want to help you with that. He wants you to be a better businessman, a better husband, all that shit, bro. Like, and it's a work in progress. It never stops being a work in progress. Anybody that tries to lie to you and tell you that they are finished work, right, is a lying dog trying to condemn you from a relationship with God. And anybody that would say, I had a bitch say some shit on my comments about that. Like, oh, you can't curse and have a relationship with God. Well, guess what, stupid ass bitch from the devil? That's a lie because God has a relationship with everybody. Now, it may not be a good relationship. You can turn away from God. That's your choice. But God pursues everybody. He's in pursuit of you, right? Look at he lives the 99 and goes after that one stray sheep, right? And that story is perfect because the 99 was self-righteous sheep that weren't going to move anyway. But he was using that to say that there is nobody righteous. He's after every single sinner, which is you. You admit it, you repent, and then improvement can happen with that grace in you. Once he's in you, then he moves. But if you can't accept it, or if you're too ashamed or have to change up or be churchy, now it can never really affect you. You see what I'm saying? It can't really grow in you. And it's just a show that you do on Sundays.
Yeah. No, I did. I'm glad you to piggyback what you were saying. I'm glad you said like they don't know if they want to laugh, because I did a show at Funny Bone here, and it was like a Christian show or whatever, and it was cool, but like when I got better laughs at my own church, I guess maybe because they knew me, but like when I was at the comedy club, they was like kind of a little hesitant or something, but then like some stuff they surprised me at what they laughed at. I think I said something about like prophets calling out people, and I said like a prophet said something about a girl having herpes, and God's gonna heal you, and like everybody busted out laughing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I wasn't expecting them to, I wasn't expecting to laugh on that one. Like I was like, I thought that was the one y'all wasn't gonna laugh at. You know what I'm saying? So how do
But see,
you?
I probably just caught him off guard. I probably was like, oh shit.
How do you decide like which jokes you gonna tell? Because my church jokes I haven't told like at a regular show. You know what I'm saying? I'm like they probably, I don't have enough confidence in myself that I wrote it good enough that they gonna understand what I'm talking about.
Right. I mean, I would try to price, and I don't mean that to admonish. Even what I said earlier, I don't admonish just like church crowds, because I feel like it's the same dynamic in corporate gigs, right? Same dynamic where you know everybody, right? And you're like worried about the judgment surrounded with. So it's not so much particularly church, but family functions can be that same way if you perform at somebody's birthday, and there's relationships that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
Right. And that puts you in an unfair advantage as a comedian. So that's one. But me, when I'm preparing the set, yeah, I mean, I try to price myself out of shit like that now just because I know I'm uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can make enough money doing the shit I like to do. I feel like, but I'm a professional to the point, and thank God that I've had to where if you give me enough money, I'll figure it out. You feel me? Like somebody had me do something for Dennis, and I was like, man, and I didn't want to do it. I was like, all right, for this, I'll do it. Like, basically, I had to write a 7-minute set for dentists, right? And they said the price. They said, all right, cool. And I did it. I was like, all right, cool. And yeah, because you're a pro and fuck it, I'm a hoe. I work for some money. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing at a certain point. But yeah, you definitely, if I'm going to do the job, I'm going to do the job. I'm not going to violate a rule. If you do a prison and they say don't mention this, then my artistry goes, I've made a deal. You feel me? To me, the honor of my word is a little more has weight in that situation over my artistic integrity in that sense, because I've made a choice. I signed a contract. boom. You feel me? If it comes up and it'll be the perfect thing to say, and I know everybody laugh, that's not the point. The man said, don't say that, or the woman said, don't say that. And I agreed to it, and you're a professional. You'll do it, even if I bomb. And you can't control that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying not to bomb. I'm trying to do the best I can with the set I prepared. But your job is to show up and do the joke. LeBron's job, he gets paid whether he scored 50 or he scored 2. You know what I'm saying? When he showed up to the game, he that's the agreement. You know what I'm saying? He here, he played, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't control the outcome all the time. So yeah, man, I like your approach to it though.
Having your ability to pivot, one could say that came from you being with the Bernie Mac and Cheese improv, or just being an improv in general. Talk about the Bernie Mac and Cheese improv. How did you get into it, and how beneficial is improv? You know, when you're up there on stage doing your stand up.
Oh, for sure, man. I tried doing improv back at Florida State. It was mostly a white boys club, and I was, grateful I came out here. I learned, I was doing stand up still, but in my free time, I would go to Groundlings, took some classes there, do the jams, and I was grateful to meet like some really talented performers. I mean, I got invited to be the black guy on some teams, and I was on some white teams, and thank them. I had great experiences. I learned a lot about the improv game. I was on a team called Carousel, another team called what was it called? Melodramatic, where we do a Lifetime movie on the spot, and some other teams, are play as a guest for some places and stuff. And great, But when I found certain people at jams, I would be like, look, man, let's just make a team, right? And it wasn't so much. The first team wasn't everybody wasn't black. It was one white dude with red hair. He was just cool. Everybody liked Adam. Shout out to Adam, but not the rest of us. The other 9 were all black people, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was one. She was like Puerto Rican. But anyway, point being, it wasn't even about. I just thought these were the most talented people at these jams, and we were always trying to play with each other, and we found each other funny. Like, I feel like when you are doing improv, a lot of it is cultural references, right? So just because, you might not know who Meatloaf is from the 80s, right? So if we're playing a pattern game that has to do with Meatloaf songs, you're going to get lost, right? Because I don't know any references to the singer Meatloaf. But if we're doing a run of Coolio songs and I just start saying Another Day in Gangsta's Paradise, and you might come back with, Soul Funkified, whatever the fuck, we know some Coolio songs, at least enough to play this game that we're playing now, where we're naming Coolio songs or we're naming whatever, Tupac songs in conversation, whatever, you feel me? So it's like, that to me is just more fun, and I get to play with my friends. We have a lot of the same ideas. They're funny in similar ways, but different enough to give variety. Because my whole thing too with the team is like, you may not like me as much, but at least if you pick one of them, just like in Living Color, if you pick Jim Carrey, then you really picking everybody. You love the show. If you love my motherfucker David, I love David. I think David's the funniest one on the show. But that's still, I have to watch Jim. I have to watch Jamie. All these other people, Tommy Davidson, that's some people's favorite, David Andrea, but it helps the whole. You feel me? Like if you even key in on one person. So it's really mutually beneficial for everybody. I pray that one of us, that all of us, I feel like we're all destined for great things in the business. We can all work in the business. We're trying to develop a cartoon right now. Mostly me and this girl Gucci. She's pretty much does everything. She makes the website. She's the one that invented how to take an improv clip and make it palatable online. A lot of people, that's the death of improv. Is like, I've seen some of the greatest scenes ever, and then nobody will ever see it again because it wasn't recorded, or it maybe was one of those you had to be there. But Gucci's good with using enough like emojis or things to create context. Or she can find a moment that's funny by itself without necessarily needing the context of, well, what word sparked this or what happened that they're referencing. None that's necessary. We can just see the funny in this thing by itself as a bubble. So it's a great team effort, but we're developing a cartoon. In fact, shit, I'll pitch it now. It's basically called The Adventures of Bernie Mac and Cheese. We have not cleared Bernie Mac's name. We're trying to contact his estate. We may have to change it drastically if they don't clear him. But basically, the idea is like Captain Planet, but with black improvisers. And the powers come from, how in improv, your imagination, you grab stuff and this is a gun now, or this is a cup or whatever, a stick. But in the show, it becomes real. Like you can really have a sword in your hand and cut a motherfucker's head off, even though it's invisible. So that's our powers. Our imaginations are basically weaponized, and we fight this industry demon. This guy, he's from hell, but he's an industry head, and he makes these monsters. Like the first one we fight is a token Negro, but he's this AI black guy that's corny, and the way we make him go haywire is we ask him if Black Lives Matter, and he starts going haywire and starts rampaging, trying to fuck up black murals around LA. So we have to defeat him. And then there's a casting couch, shit like that. Things that are destructive in Hollywood. We kind of, that's the theme. We're attacking this stuff, but then we also fight regular whatever bad guys and shit like that. But yeah, man, I feel like it's fun. It's funny. It may be a little too edgy. It may cut out. I think I made fun of Ron Funches in the pilot, and that's who does that. You feel me? That's unnecessary. Everybody loves Funches. I think I said like the Tantamount studio guy or the bad guy was like, oh, let's get one of those friendly, dickless black guys. What's that? Oh, the Funches, whatever. I think I said something. That's not necessary. Funches, I don't believe that about you. I think you're a wonderful guy. So sweet, but. That's kind of just a play on what makes white people comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They like it when you like that. You feel me? Like it's many ways when you're giggly or you don't seem like a threat. And it's not to be mean spirited. I feel like I still have some of that in living color type stuff. Well, I don't feel like it can come off as mean. Some of the jokes and shit, or even things we do on stage, or how we make fun of other whatever, like ourselves. But that's just black people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not personal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like, but we're getting to a place in society where everything is personal, man, because people's egos are inflated.
Yeah. As we start to wrap this up here, Sean, I'm really interested in seeing who you pick here. Who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
Oh, shit, man. This is going to be well, obviously, Eddie Murphy. Because he's the guy that I watched as a kid that made me want to get into comedy. I feel like I said, he just does everything. He's like one of those. The same way I picked LeBron as my favorite back because he can just do so much, right? He can defend, do all this stuff. He can do impressions, tell stories. So Eddie Murphy, number one. Is that 5? Mount Rushmore is 5, right?
4.
Okay, good. Because I gotta keep Bill off because people don't fuck with that. So I'm gonna say Red because he invented the comedy album. A lot of people don't know that. Red Fox is the first comedian, and this is according to Cliff Nestoroff's book about comedians. Not I'm dying up here, but the one anyway. The writer referenced the fact that told a story how nobody wanted to record their act because then they didn't know what they would do on the road, right? If you could already just buy my act. But Red Fox has so many jokes and he needed money. So he, on a record label called Due To Records, they would do mostly doo-wop. He recorded the first ever comedy album and invented a party record. So give that black man his credit. They should have an honorary Grammy for him. In fact, the comedy Grammy for the Grammy for comedy album should be named after Richard Pryor. I'm sorry, Red Fox, even though he never received one. Dirty motherfucker. Anyway, him, Richard Pryor, obviously just because he, I didn't know a lot about Richard as a kid, so it felt like, kind of a hack thing to say that, like, because you're like, oh, everybody just picks Richard. But when I read his life and his story, his transformation, how he went out with Red Fox to black clubs and nobody knew who he was. And that kind of really irked him. He was accepted with white people, but didn't want to just settle for that. And he reinvented himself, did the album Craps. So Richard Pryor, right, for having that bravery and changing comedy from stuff like, I was at the doctor's the other day, blah, 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 to basically you have to write and have a take on it from you. And it's very personal. So I put him there, and then shit, man. Rodney Dangerfield. Fuck, it, I love Rodney Dangerfield, man. I love his, because even you have to do a Rodney Dangerfield impression. I know the writing seems like it's mimicable or very formatted, but he has so much style with how he did it. Sorry that I left women off. Mom's Mabley is great. A lot of great,
Lies. There you
comics.
go. This bitch.
It's amazing women. Lucille Ball is my favorite female actor all the time. Monique, everybody's great, man. I love comedians. I love it. My list changes every day. Love it.
Yeah, it
Oh,
does.
who's yours? I'm sure you answer this all the time, but
No,
I am
nobody really asked me. Let's see who I'm feeling today. I would freak. He just came to my head. I'll say Deion Cole. I really
Oh
like Deion
yeah.
Cole just because like I just mainly because I like seeing his progression, like how
Oh
he like
yeah.
kind of would come off on stage. Like I don't know if it was just the times, but he just kind of came off as like a bum. But now he kind of he kind of looked like he got like his life together. Like I just like people seeing people's like transformation,
Right.
So Deion Cole, let me see, Martin Lawrence for
Oh
sure. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
Martin
yeah.
Lawrence. I definitely love Martin Lawrence. He the one that got me into the game. I seen Run Tell That, and I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to
That's
do that.
it. Greatest
You know,
host ever, man. That Def
yeah.
Jam, he's a star maker, bro. Like that's a big fucking
I
deal.
used to watch. I used to watch the Def Jam when it was on Amazon, and I was watching all the old episodes, and I was like, man, he was like Tyler Perry before Tyler Perry. Like he was really
Right.
helping out like a lot of people, and he was really a good host. So I used to
Man.
like study that a lot. Like he really was really good with that. Uh, there's this one comic I'll say her today. Like I don't think she goes by her last name, but her first name is Dominique.
Oh yeah.
I love Dominique, man. Dominique is so like hilarious to me, man. Like I'll listen to her,
Yeah.
especially like on when she was like on the Tom Joyner morning show.
Oh,
Like
she's
I wish she would
funny.
just call in, man. Like Dominique is like so. I wish like more people knew what she is, and like she got like bigger opportunities because she is like just like hilarious to me, man. Just super
Yeah.
hilarious. I
Oh
love
yeah,
her.
yeah.
And then I'll say Marlon Wayans. Uh, my
Oh
fault. I'm at
shit.
No, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say Marlon Wayans.
You
I
put him
think
over Damon? Damon was a decent stand up too, man. Still
he
standing.
he was. Well, he is. My fault. He is. I'm just now getting into Damon. There's not. Here's the problem with. I feel like my generation. There's not enough footage out there.
Ah,
Like I only seen like one Damon thing. Like yeah, you can go on YouTube, but I think only on YouTube there's only like maybe two specials out. Like there's not
right,
enough
right, right.
footage. So like it's like you got to catch him when he's in town and like try to see and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I seen Marlon live and like the energy that he like exhorts on stage. It's like that's like crazy. Like he don't miss a beat. Like
Right.
I like I think it's more. Some people don't like his specials. I think you got to see him live though. Like see him on tape. I don't think it's the same as to like seeing him live. Like seeing him
Right,
live, it's
right,
just a
right.
totally different like ball game. And
Yeah.
I think like maybe 5 to 10 years from now, like he might, depending on how what he talks about and stuff, like he could be up there with like Kevin Hart. Like he's really like
Oh wow. Yeah.
he's really good. He's really good. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. No, I feel like I gotta check him out more, man. I've seen him at the Haha doing like short sets, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've never seen him in specials. But yeah, okay, that's a dope list, man. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And honorary David Arnold. To throw that in there. I was like, dang.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. A great man,
Yeah.
dude. Hardworking dude. Woo! Yeah, man, that's a tough loss, man. That's a tough loss, but rest in peace. And I'm glad that he was seeing the fruit of his labor right before the tragic end. But I mean, to have those specials and you're archived, I think that's the most. I mean, obviously you want to live, and he has a family. I'm sure you want to live and see, grandkids and all that type of stuff. But yeah, man, just to be able to be archived is a great accomplishment for comics, man. At
Yeah.
least for me, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to
No,
mess with like
I agree. I feel like too many people be like, "Oh, I gotta wait till I'm year number 10 and stuff like that. I'm like, nigga, you don't even know if you're gonna be alive in
You
year
might be
10.
dead,
Like,
bruh. Bruh.
so
That's
we
what I'm
did all
saying.
you did all these open mics and bombed all this time for me to die tomorrow and nobody even knew that you did comedy. Like I just feel like that's
That's a
stupid.
waste. That's a waste, bro. Because I love going through old albums. I listen to
Yeah,
Slappy White. A lot of people don't know who Slappy White is. Leroy and Skillet. All these great comics from even Wild Man Steve. Like all these old LaWanda Page. And you like, if I could put something out and some years later, even one kid pull it out and laugh and go, "Oh shit!" Maybe not everybody fuck with it, but you be like, man, some dude in 3,000 little kid like, man, tires can motherfucker. That dude crazy, man. He my favorite because he just want to be different anyway. He'll say,
yeah.
that's my favorite. Or whatever. If you happen to die, sure, I know you're gonna be a big star as
Yeah.
long as you live. But
But that's why,
you made that album. Fuck
but that's what I feel like. I feel like, like you can look back. Like I used to like, I guess just like seeing it growing up and I didn't know nothing. So like trying to put reels out and stuff like that. It was kind of like, well, why would I want to put my material out? But then it was like, man, like it might not be the best, but it's the best at what I'm at right now. And then like a couple years from now, I'm gonna look
right.
back and be like, man, this ain't even funny. Like look, like look how far
Yeah,
I come. You
but
know what I'm saying? So I like
it's a
stamp
beautiful
it. Like,
thing, though. It's a
yeah,
beautiful like your audience will allow that growth, man. That's what I don't. That's what I need to come to understand is that the audience likes to grow with you. They like
yeah,
to experience you in that way, man. And there's almost no other way to do it now because I'm still trying to. I'm very reserved. I don't like being that much attention. I feel weird. Like in a personal side, I like to be on stage and do that, but I don't like to the constant having to put your story. Even Batch told me one time, man, when you see that line go away, you dead. Like you,
yeah,
and I'm like, damn, like I can't be that inclusive to my life, like
yeah,
or think that everything in my life is worth sharing. But that's how they
yeah.
wait. So share that process, man. Don't be afraid of it. That people like to see, you know, uh, your growth as a comic, I think, and they like to find that journey with you and they'll be with you forever because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. They have a personal stake in you. So, yeah, man, don't do it like me. Fuck that.
I want to write a script about just a young comic just trying to be a comic so people can understand like comics because I don't think they really I think if they understood it more we would be more relaxed and they would be more like involved in the process and they don't
Right,
understand how much they're involved in the process.
right, yeah, like a real life. Because no offense to like Seinfeld, but I'm like, I really needed to understand. I mean, I know apartments were cheap back then, but so was the pay. So I'm like, how this motherfucker just doing spots every now and again and holding down a high rise apartment in Manhattan, and you feel me, like not
Yeah.
having to do no gigs, not like no side gig. Jerry not even stressed about rent. There was not one episode where Jerry's like, I don't know how to make the rent. Nothing. He just chilling. Y'all want to go out? They just travel, go to Miami, see his parents. I'm like, never like that. Like it's nothing. Yeah.
That is
Yeah, I like some real shit, man. Motherfucker got a job and does comedy, they don't get no sleep, and you feel me? And doing a
that's funny.
bar, and then you do this, and somebody asks you, oh, like, yeah, I would love to see that, man. That
Yeah,
real process.
I think that would be a funny movie. Especially, I feel like we don't get too many like just black stupid movies. They come once in a while. Like white people, they get them all the time. Like I feel like that could just be a cool, like just straight, funny, just stupid black movie. Just like
Right.
just seeing that journey, whatever. I think
I
that I'm
love
a
that you said that too, because a lot of comedy movies or comedy shows like the one on Showtime, they try to be tragic or tell a tragic clown story. But I'm like, nah, I want to see what you're talking about. Like a
yeah,
funny one, silly.
yeah, just straight, just like straight. I think the last one I saw was The Blackening, which was pretty funny.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Is that
Yeah.
still in theater? Yeah, I
It,
check
it's
that.
black, so it's probably out. But
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
they probably got it all the way up.
but it's good though. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah,
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 nah, it looked funny. It looked funny.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
As we wrap it up, man, what words of encouragement or motivation do you have for any comedian that's listening to this right now?
man. Look, guys, just keep the faith, man. And like I said, don't ask for permission, man. Like, don't wait for permission. Like, we live in a society now where, like you said, you have this platform. You made your own podcast. You have your own channel, which is your Instagram or your YouTube. take advantage of that, man. Like, the days of needing Simon Cowell to tell you could sing or needing Johnny Carson to tell you funny, they're over. So don't be like me. Don't wait on, even as I make this cartoon, it's like, okay, I wrote it. How much money do I need to put in it to make it? And am I willing to do that? Like animation is like $1,000 a minute. Okay, I can at least make one episode and see what happens. You feel me? And nobody like it. At least I did that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
keep those benchmarks within your realm of control. Like you can control. You can't control whether or not you get a late night set or don't tell set or something on TV. But what you can control is, do I have 20 minutes of material that I'm confident in? Do I have a 3-minute set that I could do on late night that's clean? Do I have a 20-minute set that I could do in church? So do all that. Stay within the realm of your control. And yeah, man, don't ask nobody permission.
Message.
Sean, tell people why they should listen to Comedians in Bed.
Man, you guys need to listen to Comedians in Bed because Ty Erskine is the best fucking comic coming up, man. He shows he knows the game. He knows comedians. He knows what's up, man. So learn and just enjoy. You got the best laughs, man. You can really am I doing good? Fucking goddamn, he's a church boy. He got a good beard. You feel me? Like, what? Hey, man, look at that do-rag, man. So you know the waves under that motherfucker's crazy. Like, so, man, fucking shit. That's the worst drop ever. He can't use none of that.
Sean, man, tell people where they can reach you at, man.
Man, follow me on Instagram, guys, and follow my podcast at Comedian Bible Study. Look for it on YouTube. It's on everything that streams a podcast. So Comedian Bible Study with Sean Grant. I got Jeff Dye coming up this Friday. Then after that, Ramsey Badawi. I got my first atheist guest, David Smalley, will be fourth. And that's a lot of fun. And then I got Shang. Everybody knows Shang. He's on the next, the 5th episode coming out in September. Christine Little, Malik Sanan. It's a great thing, but I just want to keep adding to it. I'd love to get you on as well, Ty. Hopefully, maybe I know all my out-of-town homies hit me up on Instagram so I can schedule an IG live study with you. I'd love to do that with you as well, Ty.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely be down. And if you like today's episode, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy so that you can see this live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to follow us on IG as well at Comedians in Bed Podcast. You could stream us wherever you listen to podcasts. And yeah, man, hit up Sean for everything. Definitely check out the podcast. And Sean, man, we thank you so much, man,
appreciate
coming up on here, and I'm glad that this podcast allowed cuss words because you broke the record today, bro.
Oh, good, good. I think this is the most time anybody mentioned God and fuck in the same podcast. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. All right, man.
We'll see you guys next week.